Welcome to my tarot card reading for the month of October 2013. Let's start immediately with the opening cards. We have the Outcast, we have Elegua, and we have Oshun. And the cards, what they're trying to tell us is about decisions that have been taken already. Rather, if they are good or bad, if these decisions are good or bad, this is a different story. These are decisions that have been taken already. Okay? And that's the opening of the tarot cards. The tarot cards are saying that obviously nations, countries, individuals are going to be taking decisions which are going, like always, are going to open doors to different things. This is action and reaction. This is totally normal. What I'm saying is nothing out of this world. But then Oshun here is letting us know that at the same time there is a high possibility that they're going to try to sugarcoat everything. So you have to be very careful of everything that is going to happen. There's going to be a lot of sugarcoating during the month of October 2013. This Oshun is also letting us know that there's a lot of balancing going on, trying to balance things out. Coalitions, the magic word for October 2013 is going to be coalitions. Why? Because there are going to be decisions that are going to be taken for good or bad. But then we have to remember that Oshun is the goddess of love. Is the one that put together sometimes opposites. She's the one that mellows things down. Is the one that brings together opposites. So we can see that there's also the concept of coalitions, decisions taken regarding coalitions or other things related with other topics, but decisions, sugar-coated decisions or coalitions. That's the opening of the tarot cards for the month of October 2013. Okay, we already spoke of the opening cards. Now let's pay attention to what we have here. We have the Six of Cups representing Neptune, Scorpio, and we have the Seven of Swords representing Venus, Aquarius. The first thing that we have to notice is that we have here Cups, and then we have Swords. We have emotions, and we have the intellect, the mind. We have Aquarius, and we have Scorpio. Those are signs that are incompatible. They're elements that are incompatible. So what we're talking about is a lot of frictions. Like I said before in the opening, is obviously it's going to be a lot of friction. Emotions and the intellect are going to be acting up here, and there's going to be obviously frictions, conflicts, frictions, difficulties here. And then we have Neptune, Scorpio, letting us know that there's going to be a lot of changes coming. But these changes are coming, like I always say, there's always a yin and a yang. These changes are coming, changes, transformations, whichever way you want to call it. They're coming as something confusing. Every change creates confusion. Even when we change objects, furniture around the room, we feel a little bit confused at the beginning, and that's normal. And that's what we're talking about. A little bit of confusion on those changes. Those changes creates confusion. But in some other people, those changes are going to be seen as something very optimistic, something idealistic, something really, really good. And that's the kind of energy that we're seeing here. Those changes, those transformation, changes at an emotional level, changes at an intellectual level, because we have Aquarius here, and Aquarius like to evolve, like to bring progress to humanity, and that's the kind of energy that Aquarius is bringing, and that's the energy that is manifesting during the month of October. Changes. So we're talking about changes that are intellectual changes, but at the same time they're tied with the emotions, obviously. So we're talking about moral issues, and we're going to see that everywhere, especially in the Muslim world. We're going to start seeing that. But at the same time, in very conservative countries and not that conservative countries, we're going to start seeing a lot of changes regarding the intellect, perceptions, all this kind of stuff. We're going to start seeing changes, transformations, and this is going to create confusion. It's going to create conflicts, and that's probably why we're going to start seeing coalitions trying to make peace, sugarcoating things, and all this kind of stuff, because it's the energy that is manifesting. I'm sorry, it's the energy that is manifesting here. Okay. We have Venus. I forgot Venus. Venus in Aquarius. Venus is trying to bring a little bit of balance. Venus is like Oshun. So we are seeing that we're trying to find balance and harmony with these changes. So these changes might be a little bit subtle, slow. So in other words, the changes are there. They're coming. We can't not change it. So these changes are coming slowly, little by little. But like I say, the damage is done. The change is there, is coming. Not much we can do. The world is here for a change. That's technically what the tarot cards are saying. Okay, we have the rest of the reading here. Let's start with this, having in mind what I mentioned at the opening, and the astrological cards. They mix together very well. Now we have here for the first week of October, what we have here is the Emperor. Notice that the Emperor is upside down. Therefore, we're talking about reorganization, changes, austerity. Yes, also. We're also talking about conflicts. Conflicts, and like I said here, conflicts. Obviously, we're going to start seeing a lot of conflicts because it's a very dry energy here. A lot of and a very strong energy. Conflicts. This is Aries and it's upside down. Notice all this energy during the first week of October. We are going to start seeing that. Remember that my first week is 8 days and includes the 31st as well of the 30th of September. So this is a very interesting energy of changes, transformation, reorganization, a little bit dry. This is also talking about analysis, logic. So during the first week, there's going to be a lot of analysis during the month of October, especially the first week, like I said. So be aware, the first 8 days of October, news are going to be concentrating and analyzing. What they're going to analyze, probably these changes that are occurring around the world and on their own country. For the second week of October, we have here the Six of Cups upside down. We're talking about here that the financial, economic situation, the economy, the finances are going to be the main emphasis in the month of October. Loans, quantitative easing, these kind of sorts, these sort of things are going to be the main topic for October second week. Okay, lending money, all this kind of stuff is going to be emphasized during the second week of October. Then by the third week of October, what we have here is secrets, more secrets. So whistleblowers, Snowden, they're going to be again the main topic during the month of October. Whistleblowers, all this kind of stuff are going to be the new thing for the third week of October. Okay? By the last week of October, we're going to start seeing that things are going to get out of hands, out of control. Things are going to get out of the way, like a train that is traveling and it gets out of the tracks. That kind of situation, things out of control, get out of hand, out of control. And I'm saying again, so you get the picture. That's what we're seeing for the month of October 2013. So we saw the weeks, how they're going to be manifesting. At the end, we noticed that things are going to get out of control. So we're talking about coalitions and all this kind of stuff, the restructuring that is getting conflicts and confusion, optimism, all this kind of interesting interaction. And then they get out of control, like I said, for the last week. But then when we take a look at horizontal and vertical lines, we have here her vertical line, the emperor, and we have the moon. And obviously these changes, this structure, this reorganization and analysis are going to pull out a lot of information. A lot of secrets are going to come out, like I said already. In a horizontal line, we're talking about lending money, finances, economy. Things are going to get out of control in that aspect, okay? When we put together the horizontal and vertical line, what we have here is something very interesting. All this information that is coming out, that surprises, whistleblowers, or whatever you want to call it, secrecy that is coming out, secrets are coming out. All these loans and things are getting out of control, all this restructuring are going to force many countries, many nations, many people to take the blindfold that they have, or in other words, the veil is going to fall, and they're going to start seeing the things as they are. The only thing is that once that happens, people, nations, countries, regions, whatever it is, they're going to start pursuing their dreams, okay, their goals, their objectives. They're going to act upon what they think is the best option. Notice that the tarot cards open saying about decisions that are going to be taken during the month of October 2013. Okay, so that's the energy that we're seeing here during the month of October. When we go to the trilogy, we have the trilogy that is composed of the Chariot, the Knight of Swords, and Death. Death represents Scorpio. Notice again, Scorpio here. So notice that the energy is about changes, restructuring. So we're talking about things that are getting out of control. They're going to cause a lot of changes, a lot of restructuring, but people are going to act in a very impulsive way without thinking. And this is then again what I've been talking about, the conflicts. So what we're seeing here is obviously more changes, more structure around the world. Structural changes. When I talk about structural changes, we also have to take under consideration our mind. Like I said, Venus Aquarius over there. So, for example, the Pope and what he's talking about, that many people are against, or what he's saying, others are pro, others are against. Like I always say, everything is yin and yang. Neptune, Scorpio, changes, structural changes that are creating confusion in other people are creating optimism. As simple as that. That's what we're seeing here. That's the kind of energy that we're seeing here. And the tarot cards for October, they're saying that there are things that are going to get out of control, that are going to push into a direction of changes, transformation and changes, but these are going to be taken heavily. So no wonder when we see quick sudden reactions, then we think about the Emperor, that is about changes, but at the same time we might think about Mars, which is a planet that likes that is impulsive, but it's a warrior planet. It's nothing new. We're seeing wars and conflict around the world. So this is nothing new that I'm saying. What we're seeing is more of the same stuff going on during the month of October. Now, these structural changes I'm talking about are very interesting, because the tarot cards here are saying that it's about independence, monetary independence. Nations, countries, they want to get rid of the debt. They want to get free from whatever it is. So that feeling of independence is going to be the order of the day during the month of October. That's why I mentioned at the beginning, coalitions. Okay. Here we have the tarot card of the moon with the 5 of cups. Notice that secrecy, things that were secret, are coming to the light. And the reaction is a very interesting reaction. People don't care anymore. They probably won't be that surprised. Because what they lost is lost. There's not much to lose anymore. They lost everything they had to lose. So that's the reaction. So this is a kind of dynamic that we're going to start seeing during the month of October 2013. Now we have here the final reading that I usually use to give advice or warnings. And then we have here the 5 of Swords, representing the time that Jesus resurrected the girl, but it's upside down. And then we have St. Lawrence, the Knight of Coins. And then we have St. Margaret, representing the devil. Here is upside down, letting us know something that is not resurrected, something that is dead, already dead, and is not going to anywhere. And I don't think I have to be very explicit here. We already know anything that the nations are doing economically and financially to keep the economy working is dead. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to do anything. But then we have St. Lawrence, and Lawrence, what he did in order to prevent the church from going to bankruptcy, in order to prevent empires to put their hands on properties of the church, he sold everything and he gave the money away. So the church didn't have anything. So in other words, the cards, what they're saying is very simple. In order to get out of this dead zone that countries are in the economy, this dead zone, they have to give everything. In other words, give up. In other words, split or pay your debts. That's the energy that is, that's the advice that is giving off. Obviously, no one is going to listen to me, but that's okay. And then here, Margaret, the story says that she was swallowed by a beast, but she was able to get out of it. And this is the meaning here. What we're seeing is that if we want to get out of this situation that we are this debt zone, we need to get out of debt. The question is how we're going to get out of debt. But getting more debt or paying off the debt. The question is how are we going to pay the debt? And that's the dynamic that the tarot cards are talking about here for October 2013.